welcome to episode 3 of Drawing with this guy. Today we're going to draw Sakari from Bird and Squirrel on Ice. Yes, she's right here. She's this little penguin right there in 3D. 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 It's almost like she's coming out at you. So grab your pencils, grab your paper, and get ready to draw Sakari. So here we go. We're going to draw Sakari. And Sakari has a big shape. Her biggest shape probably is her head. We're going to start with a circle. It's like that. And then her second shape is almost, if you think of it like an ice cream cone almost, that it's going to hold. If this were the ice cream, this is the cone that holds it together, or holds it on. So those are her two main shapes. And we're going to have her sort of like crouching down, ready to attack. So we're going to have her like this. Put a shadow on the ground like that. And then we'll draw a line in here. This is going to be where her eyes are sort of going to sit. It would be an eye line. If you drew a center line here, it sort of gives this shape. You know, we're thinking of this as a three-dimensional shape that has a sort of, it is a sphere. And this part could be around like that. So it's holding the ball on top of the cone, the ice cream cone. And her eyes are going to go here. They're going to sit on that sort of eye line. And there. And then we draw her beak. She's going to have her mouth open. And then her pupils, she's looking off at whatever it is that's coming at her, which could be bird or squirrel when she first meets them. She's not really sure who these strange characters are. Those are her eyes. And then for Sakari, she doesn't have eyebrows, so we're going to use sort of the penguin, the differentiation between the black and the white of a penguin are going to sort of create her eyebrows. And we're going to use these to show expression. So this one, she's sort of like intrigued. So this eyebrow would be up if it were an eyebrow. And this sort of one is going to be down. So she's sort of intrigued by who these people are that she sees, or these creatures. This squirrel, this blue squirrel with a crazy acorn hat. So like that. And then we're going to have this one's, this flipper is going to be coming back. Like that. And this one's going to be out. So right here, when I'm drawing, I'd like to think too of like clear silhouettes. Like by having everything sort of out away from the body, if I were to black this whole thing in, we'd still be able to tell the pose of the character because we're not having things overlapping. So even when we put the spear in, we're going to leave like some space in here and a little bit of space over here. So we're still continuing to have like that silhouette. So the spear is just going to be two parallel lines, like that. And then it has like a stone tip on it, so it doesn't have to be perfect. You can sort of block in the shape of it, and then you can go back and sort of make it look like it was chiseled out of stone. And then there's like some string or twine that sort of holds it on to this staff. And she has two feathers that attach to it. Like that. I think we're a little, she seems a bit thin in the middle. So let me see. And by working loose, you know, we can keep adding lines and sort of finding the right lines. And then when you go back at the end, you can erase and get rid of the ones you don't want. So this is where that part of her outer part is going to be there, of her sort of the black and the white separation. And Sakari wears a cape or like a cloak. So it's going to go around her neck, and it attaches in the front with a seashell, the top of a seashell. And it wraps around her back. And she doesn't have the hood on right now, so it's just going to be hanging there like that. Comes over and goes over her arm. And there's going to be a slight breeze, so it will give us this cool sort of like action-y, like this thing is blowing in the wind. A little bit more of a shadow. And then now at this point we can go back and start to darken in the outline of stuff. We don't want to get too dark. That's why it's a good idea to start light. So if you keep making it darker and darker and darker, you don't end up with a crazy just mess of black lines. So, and then once we have her all set in, her head isn't quite an exact circle. It's sort of like rounded. So we're going to go back and sort of chop it up a little bit so it has like some angles to it. And she wears like tribal makeup or like tattoos. She has tattoos, sort of. And they're here and there, and then she has these 3 eye ones that go right here. They would be on that side, but they're going to be around the other side, so we're not going to quite see. We can darken in her mouth. And you can darken in her eyes if you'd like. And that is Sakari. And for those that want to know, Sakari means sweet one. Hey, I hope you had fun drawing Sakari. Next time, you guys are in for a real treat. I'm going to have Mike Bolt, that's right, the Mike Bolt from Canada. He's going to teach you how to draw a frog from his new book, I Don't Want to Be a Frog by Dev Petty. So until then, keep drawing, keep having fun, and I will see you next time.